Mga kapuso, ang inyo pong napapanood ay ang pagpupulong ni na dating Chief Justice Reynato Puno at ilang negosyante para isulong po na ang People's Initiative para tanggalin ang pork barrel. Pakinggan po natin ang talumpati ni dating Chief Justice Reynato Puno.
Proposed law. So, the proposed law is still in the process of perfection. And what I will be presenting will just be a rough outline. And hopefully after this week, after other ideas flow in, we'll be able to shape the details of the law more or less with finality, and hopefully present this to a People's Congress sometime in January. So let me proceed with the outline. Sa akin pong palagay, pagkatapos nating makita itong mga pangyayari dito sa tinatawag nating PDAP, DAP, and other scandals, the biggest casualty of all this is the Constitution. I like to think that this problem has to a large degree destroyed so many of the basic principles embedded in our 1987 Constitution. More specifically, the principles of separation of power, especially between Congress and the executive department. The principle of checks and balances. The principles of trust, transparency, and accountability in the allocation and spending of the people's money. The principle that public funds should be allocated and used to address the real needs of the people, especially the needs of the poor, and to prevent the expenditure of public funds for political patronage. And so more or less, these are the three basic objectives of what the proposed law should achieve. Restoration of the constitutional separation of power and principle of checks and balances, reupholding the principles of trust, transparency, and accountability, and ensuring that public funds are not used for political patronage. How do we go about restoring these basic constitutional postulates? First, the restoration of the principle of separation of power and system of checks and balances. We should try to achieve this in the law by restoring Congress power over the pars. And how shall we do this? One, we should be able to enforce the one fund concept. In other words, the proposed law should not allow any of the so-called off-budget items.